Go.
Sid! Oh, come on, Catwoman. Hey. Oh. Sid. Sid. Oh, he's ignoring me now. Anyway, hello. Bikmo, the bike insurance people, sent over a bunch of questions for me to answer. They insure my fleet of bikes, so I thought I'd take a minute to reply to these by filming them because I couldn't be bothered to write everything down. So to begin with, an introduction to myself. Well, I'm Juliet Elliott and I'm a cyclist. I ride for Charge Bikes, Asos, Met and Vans and, well, Bikmo. I race track bikes, ride mountain bikes, BMX, skate a bit, race road bikes, love cats. Hello, Sid. So, onto the questions. How long have you been cycling and racing? Well, I've been cycling, I started cycling when I was a kid, but I seriously got into it, I guess, in 2007 when I got into fixed gear bikes. How long have I been racing? Not very long. I did my first Red Hook crit this summer in London, and then I did another one in Milan. I've done one downhill race, a cross-country race, so I haven't been racing very much. I'm just learning. What was it like competing in the Red Hook crit this summer? Well, amazing. The London event, I had no idea what it was going to be like. I only had 4 weeks to train, so I tried really hard. Trained as hard as I can over 4 weeks, but in the grand scheme of things, that's nothing, is it? So turning up at the race, I just had no idea if I was going to even finish, if I was going to be lapped. I didn't know just how hard is it? It turned out it is very hard, but I didn't get lapped. I did finish the race. It was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. But also one of the most fun. Everyone was cheering and I just loved it. So after the Red Hook Crit London, I entered the Red Hook Crit in Barcelona, which was in September. And again, it was really hard. For some reason, I kind of thought it might not be quite as hard as the London one, even though it was only a couple of months after. I thought that training over the summer would have had more of an effect. It didn't have much of an effect at all. It was still really hard, but it's a super fun event, and I imagine that if you come from a road cycling background and you've done road crits and then you turn up to the Red Hook crit, you would just be blown away because the atmosphere is quite unlike that of a road race. It's kind of more like a mountain bike race where everyone's all in it together and cheering each other on. So yeah, love it. Best race you've ever competed in? I was going to say Red Hook crit, but then I remembered PT Steel City Downhill. That was so fun earlier this year. That was, well, it's billed as a downhill race, but it's probably not exactly full on downhill, it's all kind of rollable, rideable, smooth, not as tricky as some of the full on downhill courses. So it was really fun and not too intimidating and a good way to try a first mountain bike race. Everyone was cheering you on. It was super fun atmosphere. Oh, the best thing about Steve Pete's Steel City Downhill was the fact there were about 60 women racing. 60 or 70? I don't know. Like, so many women racing, so that's why I liked it. Question 5. What has been my worst fall or crash? Well, I'm always falling and crashing. In fact, I've got scabby chins, elbows, everything at the moment. So my worst fall or crash.
Broken wrist, yeah.
Well, I broke my wrist mountain biking in the Alps. I knocked out my tooth BMXing. Got a gold one. That was in London in a new bowl that I don't think it had been surfaced properly. It was ever so slippy. What else? God, I don't know. I'm always falling off. So, number 6, favourite cycling discipline. People are always asking me this and I can never make my mind up. Also, I change my mind depending on what I'm into at that moment in time. So, favourite cycling discipline? Well, I don't know. If you'd have asked me after Red Hook crit, I'd have probably said fixed gear crit racing. But after training hard for those races all summer, now I'm getting slightly more into mountain biking because I didn't have as much chance to ride mountain bikes over the summer. So I don't know, I like to do a bit of everything, and I probably go through waves of what's my favourite. At the moment I just want to go skateboarding. Favourite bike? This is a tricky one because I've got lots of favourite bikes, again because I like riding all kinds of bikes. So I guess my favourite road bike is a Gooma. My favourite track bike is the Charge that I was sent, which I rode at Red Hook Crit. That was dope. Favourite mountain bike's got to be the Juliet Furtado, but then that's the only full stutter I've got, so it would be. But anyway, so favourite bike, I don't know. Next up, what was my highlight of 2015? Highlight of 2015, oh, buying a house. Yeah, buying a house is really, really good. So, sorry, that's not bike related, but it means a lot to me. Then not the final question, penultimate question. How do you spend the winter? I spend the winter riding as much as I can, getting really cold and wet, and making my bike really, really dirty, much to the annoyance of my husband, who is quite fanatical about keeping bikes clean. So he's always cleaning it for me, which is great. So how do I spend the winter? Really, well, mainly what I do is as much riding as possible, wrap up warm, wear good clothes, get out, just try and enjoy it. I mean, it is enjoyable. And then I make lots of cakes, sit by the fire, I stroke all my cats, try and go snowboarding once or twice. I don't know, the usual stuff. Cycling. So what does next year have in store for me? Next year I am going to be doing a lot more mountain biking. Definitely. Possibly go to New Zealand. Definitely the Alps. I'm going to be racing the Red Hook Crit again. I'll go to Mexico with my track bike. That should be fun. I've got a few videos coming out with ASOS, one of my sponsors. I don't know, I can't remember. Loads of stuff is happening next year, so I'll keep you updated. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope that wasn't too boring. Sid, my lovely fluffy cat, has just taken a seat next to me. Isn't he cute? That's the other thing I love, cats.